The autumn wind is a pirate, blustering in from sea. With a rollicking song he sweeps along, swaggering boisterously. His face is weather-beaten. He wears a hooded sash, with a silver hat about his head, and a bristling black mustache. He growls as he storms the country, a villain big and bold. And the trees all shake and quiver and quake as he robs them of their gold. The autumn wind is a raider, pillaging just for fun. He'll knock you round and upside down and laugh when he's conquered and won.
What's going on, Raider Reaction, Raider Nation family? Man, here we go. Crawling into week 17 with just a little bit of hope left. Just a little bit. A little bit of hope just to dangle in front of our faces. Still got a playoff ticket available. They still got a playoff ticket available. And we are in the thick of it. Not in the ways we want to be in the thick of it, though. This is another year, right, where just like 2 years ago, shit show happens, head coach is gone, interim coach comes in. Can they reel the Raiders in the playoffs? This is a great story. It's never happened in the NFL. That was 2 years ago. This year, same shit. Shit show of a fucking season to start. McDaniels, everybody wants him out. Al Davis finally makes the right fucking move after being harassed by a bunch of Raider Nation fans to make the fucking move. Finally does it. Brings in players, listens to the players, gets him out of there. Antonio Pierce comes in, and he's doing a fine job. He's doing a fine job. We're in the thick of shit here in week 17. Didn't think we were going to be here, especially taking those two losses against Miami and Kansas City back to back. I didn't think we would be in this in the thick of things this late in the year after those two losses, but here we are. We still got a chance. The players are still fighting hard. They're doing everything they can to win these football games. Antonio Pierce is doing anything he can to keep these guys motivated. We're in it. We got a winnable game here in week 17. Before we get into week 17, can we get a round of applause for Raider Nation finally picking up a win against the crybaby bitch Mahomes, man? What a fucking gem. What a gem. We fucking beat them at their house on Christmas Day. And they were frustrated, man. Them motherfuckers throwing helmets on the sideline. Pacheco coming off, sitting on the training table. That motherfucker breaks. Players yelling at each other. Mahomes crying like a fucking bitch. Oh, it was fucking awesome. And you know what? Shout out to Kuntz, man. Another solid performance by Kuntz. And let's not forget, another solid performance by Tyree Wilson ever since they moved him into the inside. It's been fucking wonderful. The front four looks amazing right now. They are looking great. Max Crosby's having help. He's not having to do it all by himself. They double team him. You got Tyree Wilson coming in. Marcel or Kuntz coming in and doing his job, man. 3 sacks, I believe it was on Mahomes. 3 sacks. Man, what a game. What a game that was defensively. We did learn that Aiden O'Connell is probably not that guy. I said that last week on the pregame show. I was rooting for the kid. I really wanted to see him do well, but you're supposed to be progressing as the more starts you get. And I know in KC, you're in a tough crowd. I get that. But you got to do better than 63 yards, 9 for 21. No completion after the first quarter. You got to do better than that. Round of applause for Zamir White. Okay, we're giving out round of applauses in the beginning of the show today because it was just such a great win, a big win. I think this win puts a jolt under this team to come into the last 2 weeks and just do their job. The only thing they can do at this point is go out there, play hard-nosed fucking Raider football, and put these teams in the ground in the last 2 weeks. And hopefully everything aligns itself. This is a big game. This is a big game, not only because we need to win the last 2, but because it's going up against the Colts, who are a team that we need to beat to get us more in the thick of things going into the last week of the season. I was going to put the picture up to hurt everybody's heads on what needs to fucking happen, and hopefully all the stars align. The Steelers got to lose to the 5. There's like, everybody's seen that picture. The 5-7 things that got to happen. Raiders got to win out. Bengals got to lose. Steelers got to lose. We should have beat them earlier in the year, but I think that's when we had McFuckhead. Couple things got to go right. Okay, I know we still have a chance to win the division if the Chiefs lose out. As much as I'd like to see that happen, let's be a realistic people here. It's not going to happen. They go up against the Bengals, which it's a tough game. It's a possible win for the Bengals this week against the Chiefs. I give that a 45-55 shot for them. But then they go and they play the Chargers, and we all know how the Chargers are. I mean, yes, they put up a good game against the Bills, but do you really think Patrick Mahomes and Travis Kelce are going to lose to the Chargers in the last week to lose the division? I just don't see it. And we got a tough game in Denver coming up too. Okay, Denver's not going to be in a walk in the park whatsoever. You know they're not going to come out and just lay down. I don't believe they will. I don't think that's what Sean Payton would do with his first year in Denver. I know they're benching Russell Wilson, but they got Stidham going, and we know what Stidham can do. I'd rather had Stidham this year as our starting quarterback than bringing in a washed-up, fragile man in Jimmy Garoppolo. Just my opinion. Just my opinion. But that's all out. That's in the past. There's nothing we can do about that. Let's see. He's not mobile at all, Jim. No, you're right. You hit it right there. That's exactly what I feel. He's got cement blocks in his shoes, man. He's got a big body, and when we first started seeing him out there, I said, man, this guy, he's got a big body, like almost like a Ben Roethlisberger build. But he can't shed tackles. And as soon as he senses a bit of pressure, man, he gets happy feet and he starts fucking hopping around everywhere and he freaks the fuck out. And as soon as somebody touches him, he just falls to the ground. And, It is what it is. I'm not trying to bash the kid. I'm not trying to say he shouldn't even step on the field this week. That's not what I'm saying. He's just not the guy. Okay? We don't have time for a guy to develop, right? And I understand that, well, we're going to draft a quarterback next year. He's got to develop. Yeah, but we need somebody who can develop a little bit faster than what AOC has been developing into. And it hasn't been good. It's a good game, bad game, good game, bad game. We can't have that. He's just not. He's not the guy. He will. Don't get me wrong. He'd probably be a very nice, suitable backup for this team for the long haul for the next 4 or 5 years. But going in after this season and thinking he's going to be the guy to carry this team for the next few years, I don't see it happening. I don't see it happening at all. At all. But we need him to play well. I'm still going to root for him. I still want to see him go out there and throw for 300 yards and a couple touchdowns, man. I'm not hoping he fucking fails, because if he fails, we fail. And we don't want that. I like him. I think he's got a good attitude. I think he's got a good attitude. I think his arm is really nice. He can fling that motherfucker faster than shit. He's just not mobile. And when he gets a sense of pressure, he breaks down. And we've already had one of them guys before. Let's get into the head coaching matchup. By the way, cheers. It's almost New Year's Eve, man. I hope you guys are starting off your weekend right. Got to be safe tomorrow on New Year's. Don't drink and drive, none of that stupid stuff, man. Find a place. Get fucked up if that's what you like to do on New Year's Eve, and call yourself an Uber. We're seeing what happens when you drink and drive with this Raider team. You don't want to be that guy in your local newspaper headline. Let's check it out. Head coaches. Shane Steichen, 8-7, first-time head coach. This is his first year as a head coach with the Colts. Got Antonio Pierce, 4-3 since he took over. Big win versus Kansas City like we just talked about. Great big win, man. Ever since he's came in and taken over this team, the defense has gotten better and better. Now, I don't know if that's because he allowed more freedom to Patrick Graham, or if he has more involved in the defense. I'm not sure. I think no matter what it is, whatever he's doing since he took over is working for the defense. Shane Steichen, he's done a good job in Indianapolis, right? He's turned this team around. They're also competitive. He's looking like a pretty damn good coach, in my opinion. His rookie quarterback goes down. He brings in Gardner Minshew. Gardner Minshew's having a little bit of success. The Colts have had a successful season considering what they were coming into, right? So props to Shane Steichen over there. Colts are not really a team that I hate, so I'm not gonna say that anything bad about this dude. Good for them. Good for the Colts, but fuck them this week. We got Antonio Pierce, keeps these guys motivated, keeping them hungry. Man, the players just look. Even when we've lost with Antonio Pierce, man, it just doesn't seem like the team just stops and the sideline looks down. It just doesn't look like that. When McDaniels was in charge, man, even midway last season, you see the frustration and the way that the players are talking in the pressers. This new energy that Antonio Pierce is bringing has been fucking fun to see. It's been great to see this team rally around each other and fight till the last second of every football game that they played in. Even when they lose, it's not negative shit coming out in the press conference, right? Positive shit. Has he won this job for next year? Last week's win was a big one for him. Do I think he's won the job, signed, sealed, delivered the contract? No. I think it's going to come down to how these last two games play out. I think he's pretty close. I think he's definitely going to be a top 2 or 3 candidate for this team going into the offseason to figure out how they're going to move forward. I would like to see him stay just because I would like to try to keep the core of this team together. because I never felt like this team was a bad team. Even last year when we had, I've always blamed McDaniels and the coaching staff because I never felt that we had a bad team. Did I feel like we had a Super Bowl contending team? Not so much. But I did feel we had a good team to at least compete, make the playoffs, and build off of that. And it's showing that we do got the talent. You got guys like Nate Hobbs he's having one of the best years in his 3 years. This is his best one, right? You see Trayvon Moore is looking like a really, really good safety for this team in the future. Fucking Kuntz, man, coming around where it almost looked like this was going to be his last year as a Raider. He's showing that he ain't done here yet. You got Devontae Adams, Josh Jacobs, hopefully, maybe next year. We don't know. We don't know what's going to happen. Zamir White, if he ends the year the way he's doing, Josh Jacobs might be out of a job, but that's okay because if Zamir White is Zamir White that we've seen in the last couple weeks, it's okay to move on from Jacobs and go with a cheaper running back that is going to produce very well. Michael Mayer, he's starting to form into himself, right? Good draft pick by the Raiders this year. Spillane. I mean, this team, we got the talent. Hunter Renfrow, Jacoby Myers. The team is good. It's not great. It's good. It's good enough to be able to build off of it in the draft, hit on a few good draft picks this coming off season, get a good couple of free agent signees to come in, man. We got the talent to be good. You know, man, Israel, I wouldn't even say to bring in a veteran quarterback to teach AOC. I don't think Aiden O'Connell is that guy. I think he's probably a really good premier backup quarterback in this league. Now, I could be wrong. It is his rookie year. Maybe he does end up forming into a very good quarterback. I just don't see him as that guy as of right now. 9 for 21 and 63 yards, not completing a pass for the next 3 quarters of the game just doesn't suit well. Doesn't look good. I don't know if he can ever get mobile like the way he needs to. He doesn't shed tackles. Sense of pressure, he freaks the fuck out. But I'm not hating on him. We see he's got potential, but he's got a lot of holes in his game as well. I don't know if so much a veteran quarterback can come in here and be the bridge guy to get him tuned up. And I never liked the thing of you name this guy the starting quarterback, right, for damn near half the rest of the season, and then now you're going to bring in a new guy and he's got to sit behind him again. I don't know how that usually doesn't work too well. But we'll see how the cookie crumbles, man. Back to the head coaching gig, man. If Antonio Pierce can go out there and win these next couple games, you got to sit down and have a serious conversation with who's taking this team over. And the only reason, like I said just a few moments ago, the only reason I'd like to bring him back is so that the next guy doesn't come in here and blow this motherfucker up. Thank God Josh McDaniels didn't do that. Because if he blew this motherfucker up, man, we'd be looking at another 2-3 year fucking rebuild. So the only good thing McDaniels did do with his short time with the Raiders is not blow this motherfucker up. But he can still go fuck himself. The worst head coaching hire probably in Raiders history is bringing in that guy. I'm not going to argue with that. I keep my eye open to that. New OC. Oh, we just went through that segment. Yeah, I agree with that, man. There's no reason to rebuild this team. They're not that far away. They're not that far away from competing in this league, man. They're not. Let's look at the quarterback. Speaking of the quarterback position, let's check it out. Let's check out the matchup. You got Gardner Minshew not having a bad year. Not having a bad year. Okay, 6-5, 29-40 over the air, 14 touchdowns, 9 picks. 1-0 against the Raiders. That was when he was in Jacksonville. I believe 2019 is when he beat us. Got Aiden O'Connell sitting at a 4-4 record as a starter this season. 1675 over the year, 8 touchdowns, 7 picks. As it says in the bottom, he's not the one. He's just not the one for this team in the future, man. He's not. And I see a lot of stuff in the comments. He's a rookie. He was a 4th-round pick. We got to give him some time. We ain't got a lot of time, man. Davante Adams doesn't got a lot of fucking time on his hands. Right? He's getting up there in age, man. We got to, if we decide to keep a hold to Davante Adams, you got to get a guy who's ready to step up in there and play some winning football. And don't tell me you can't draft a rookie and have him come out and run this team and get us to the promised land. Now, I don't know if a rookie quarterback's ever won the Super Bowl in his first season. I'm not sure of that, but I know they've been there. But there's always a first time for everything if that's not the case. Look at fucking C.J. Stroud over there in Houston. Who the fuck thought Houston would be where they're at right now in this season? And he's a big reason why. And that's another decision McFuckhead fucked up. He might still have a fucking job if he wasn't so arrogant and stupid and listened to his fucking GM that said, hey, let's make this trade, man. C.J. Stroud's going to be a generational talent in this league. We got to get him. And what does he do? If he didn't come up with the idea, we can't do it. You can't have the credit for this, Mr. Ziegler. We're not doing that. Take that trade off the table. It's not happening. We're bringing in broke dick Jimmy Garoppolo. He's going to fucking win us some football games. How'd that go? You look at Gardner Minshew, though, man. Everybody knows he's a good, solid backup. It's going to be a good – Gardner Minshew, he's good, man. When he's on, he's on. But he does make a lot of mistakes, right? You do watch him. He makes a lot of bonehead mistakes, throwing picks and shit, which this defense, the takeaway category, the last 3-4 weeks have been fucking remarkable. It's been something we haven't seen in a long time. So this Minshew's going to have one of his best games if our defense shows up and plays the way that it's been playing the last 3-4 weeks, man. We're going to put a lot of pressure on this motherfucker, hopefully make him make mistakes, and give Aiden O'Connell some good field position throughout the game because he's going to need it. And Aiden O'Connell's got to throw for more than 63 fucking yards this week. He's going to have to. And it shouldn't be that hard against this Colts defense because this Colts defense isn't that great. So hopefully Aiden gets some good protection in there in the pocket because he's best when he's just sitting there like a statue and scanning the field and flings it real quick. If he can get that time like he did against the Chargers, we got a good shot running away with this thing. Got a good shot. We got a good shot. Before we get into the offense statistics, let's go ahead and check out what the mighty, mighty experts think about the Raiders coming into Indianapolis.
This is a big one. Indianapolis Colts at home trying to hang on after a disappointing Week 16 loss.
I don't know if we approached it with the right urgency. I think we got to look at ourselves, tighten up, and figure out what we're going to do with this opportunity we got in front of us.
They face a 7-8 Raiders team that's much more dangerous than their record. And they come in off a big road win that has them believing they could extend their 2023 season past Week 18.
Score. Picks it up. There you go. Zone. Below Nichols. Touchdown.
Colts are facing a frenzied Raiders squad. Those guys love playing for AP.
AP did an awesome job all week of preparing us.
The defensive guys especially.
Intercepted down the sideline. And he walks in. Back-to-back plays for the defense with touchdowns.
Raiders defense not only single-handedly beat Kansas City last week.
Ill intent, violence, physicality, pain. Enough is enough.
They've only given up more than 21 points once in their last 7 games.
Coming after Mahomes, able to dodge one hit, but not that one.
These edge rushers are unblockable.
It was on full display on Christmas Day. Not a better day to do it.
Now they go after a Colts offense coming in off one of its worst performances of the year, just 10 points versus the Falcons.
We can't have it, and obviously we got 2 guaranteed left to us.
and we got to get it cleaned up in a hurry.
Gardner Minshew unable to get much going through the air, 201 yards, no touchdowns, an interception, below 60 rating.
Colts need a big-time conversion here in the pocket, feeling pressure, feeds it downfield, looking for Alec Pierce, throws it up, and it's intercepted.
You got to take what you can from this one, learn from it. I think there's a lot of good learning out there, you know.
Raiders secondary he tries to rebound against didn't just house one of Mahomes' throws. They held him to 5.3 yards per attempt and only one touchdown, a low 70s rating.
4th and goal, snap to Mahomes, lost, far corner of the end zone, and it's broken up by Hobbs. And the defense gets another stop here in Kansas City. Huge stop with a good play.
Part of Minshew's problem, he was being harassed all game long, took 6 sacks, most he's taken all year.
4-man rush, pocket collapses on Minshew, and there's Calais Campbell busting out the dirty bird.
He did not have his go-to last week, though. Michael Pittman was out hurt. He's vital to Minshew and their offense.
Pitt's been so good for us this year, you know, and we'll continue to be excited to get him back.
Fires over the middle, completes. Pittman breaking free.
But I mean, it's the next man up. I have a lot of confidence in the guys that were in there.
Even with him, though, pressure could be a problem again this week because Vegas's pass rush is legit now. They bagged Mahomes 4 times, a team that was top 3 in sacks allowed.
Back to throw, pressure again, and he sacked the ball's out. He went to throw, and he's on top of it at the 21.
Who does Indy double? Max Crosby, no sacks last week, but 13.5 for the year, or Malcolm Kuntz, who made KC's tackles look like pylons all game long. Sacked Patrick 3 times.
And he's smushed. Malcolm Kuntz hit him in the midsection for his 3rd sack of the day.
Kuntz has 5 sacks in his last 2 games, 7 for the season.
Pound him. Pound him. Pound him.
Raiders' run defense will be tested, of course. Face Jonathan Taylor in this one.
Taylor bullies his way across the goal line. Touchdown.
He scored last week, but not much else. 2.4 a carry, hasn't been over 3 a run in 3 of his last 4 games.
Going to hand the ball to Taylor, trying to get the run game going, and Caden Ellis has none of that. It's a loss of at least 1. It could be 2.
Raiders play versus running backs. Good last week, held Isaiah Pacheco to 2.4 a carry. Play versus backs for the season, meddling. Play of their own back last week, superb.
Trying to take it outside, cutting back, and there he goes for the first down. Impressive run.
No Josh Jacobs again, so we saw the Zamir White sequel, and it was Empire stuff. 145 yards, 6.6 a carry.
Hand up to Zamir, cuts to the right side. First down 35, burst 40, down the 50, near side 40, and Zamir White might have just salted away a Raiders win.
He went for 69 yards, 4.1 a carry his first start the week before. Colts defense hasn't sparkled against backs either. Rush defense was at the heart of their defensive struggles versus Atlanta, gave up 6 a run to Bijan Robinson and 7.7 a carry to Tyler Algier.
This blocking, Algier running. Big run for Algier into the end zone.
Colts pass defense didn't sparkle versus Taylor Heineke either.
Pick. Ooh.
Let him go 23 of 33, a touchdown. They didn't pick him off, a rating given up near 100.
Heineke, end zone, got him in. It's Pitts. It's a touchdown. What a start for Heineke and the Falcons.
Colts with only 1 sack last week. They're a top 5 sack team. They also have played the pass better than that most games. They go up against Aiden O'Connell this week.
It was a team win. Those guys carried me, so it was awesome to be a part of.
62 yards, 3 yards per attempt, a low 50s rating last week. Devontae Adams, 4 yards on 6 targets.
Here they come. O'Connell taps, throws. Adams incomplete. Incomplete for O'Connell, who has now missed his last 9 pass attempts.
I definitely left some plays on the field that I wanted back.
AOC threw 4 touchdowns the week before, though. Quite the week-to-week swing. Underrated Week 17 game.
I feel really confident about the guys, obviously playing at home. We got a big one next week against the Raiders.
Bet most of you guys get that. Let's see what you have for it in the comments section. Does the legend of AP grow?
I think he should be the head coach next year. I think he's an outstanding coach.
Or does Minshew Mania return?
I'm excited to see how we respond and bring it next week.
Let's see the panel of 10's take on it, and have a happy new year, everybody.
Well, the panel, majority of the panel says we're going to win. But they say we're going to win by nail biters, man. I don't see that happening in this game. I don't see it happening this game. I'm not guaranteeing us a win, but I got a lot of confidence that we will win this game. And I think, well, it's hard to say because the Colts are a team they're hot and cold. One week they look like a damn really good playoff team, then the next week they just look like shit. So we'll see what happens. We'll see what happens. Dale, you hit it there. That's what I was gonna say as I was reading these comments while that was going on. Israel and Jim, it would be good to have Jimmy G come in, and I was actually talking to my dad about this today. I said, we could put Jimmy G in because Jimmy G does really good when defenses are playing really well. We've seen that with the Niners, the Patriots. He wins when he has good defenses behind him, and he plays pretty well. The problem with the whole Jimmy G thing is he what we want for the next 2 years, not including this year? Because here's the thing with this contract, like Dell said, with this contract, it's like the Russell Wilson deal that's going on over there in Denver. Now, if we decide to let Jimmy G go out there and play, and we know that his body is soft as baby shit and he's made out of glass, if he goes out there and let's say tears an ACL or tears his shoulder, whatever it is, a very serious injury, we're on the hook for like 30, 35 million or some shit like that next season. I mean, the way I was looking at it was maybe the reason Antonio Pierce has not been putting him in is because if he plans to be here next year, along with I think it's Champ Kelly who the GM is, if they've had conversations with Mark Davis and they kind of have the feeling that they're probably going to be back next year to run this team, they're probably looking at cutting Jimmy G and finding something else. That's what I would think. Because if you're not confident that you're going to get this job next year, yeah, throw in Jimmy G. He probably gives you the best chance to win right now the way AOC's been so inconsistent. But if you plan on being here for the long haul, like I'm sure AP and Kelly think they are, you ain't going to risk putting in Jimmy G, right? To get hurt, now you're on the hook for another $30 million next year in dead cap, and you can't get any money off of him, right? Because his contract becomes fully guaranteed. So now you're fucked. So that's the way I was looking at the whole Jimmy G scenario. Yes, then the games, man, I've been thinking, fuck, man, put him in. Aiden O'Connell just ain't doing it. Put him in. Put him in. But then when you look at that aspect, I sat back and I looked at that view of things and I go, well, it makes sense why they're not bringing him in, because if they plan on being here for the long haul, they don't want to be fucking stuck with that shit. They don't want to be stuck on that shit, man. So it's kind of like, you can't have your cake and eat it too, right? This is the kind of situation that we're in here, that the coaching staff's in, that the general manager is in, at the interim guy, That's the situation they're in, and that's probably what they're looking at. I mean, I don't know. I'm not a general manager. I'm not smart like that and shit, but that would just be the obvious reason why they're thinking about that, But who knows? Hopefully Aiden O'Connell just somehow goes on a nice little 2-game streak and we fucking climb our way in the playoffs. Because here's my thing on the whole thing. Like, we're already not going to get like a top 10 draft pick or whatever. So we might as well try to win out. Get in the playoffs just to say we made it. Fuck, at least we got one extra game to watch. And who knows what could happen. Playoff football's fucking crazy. Antonio Pierce, I believe he was a part of... I know he was a part of that team, but I'm pretty sure the Giants were 9-7, and they went on to beat the undefeated Patriots that year. So he's been here, done that, man. He knows magic can fucking happen. He knows it could happen. We'll see what happens. All right. Stack up the offenses next to each other, man. This is what you got. The Colts, points 43-54, 50-16. Total yards, 33-18 over the air, 16-98 on the ground, 17 tutties over the air, and 17 ground and pounding into that end zone. 21 turnovers. Raiders, 285, 41-93, 28-64 over the air, 13-29 on the ground, 16 over the air, 10 down on the ground, 24 turnovers. Now, the offense has been fucking shitty. It has been so goddamn shitty. I mean, thank God Zamir White has came into these last two games and just been about business, man. He's feeling that role pretty well, man. And if he can close out this season strong like this, now it's only like a 4-game lick of him being the number one guy. But if he can close out the season running like he's running, man. I love Josh Jacobs, man. I got Josh Jacobs jersey. I'm a big Josh Jacobs fan. I like his story. It's been awesome. But man, if we don't have to pay a running back $12 to $15 million a year and we got Zamir White ready to rock and roll as a starter, shit, why wouldn't you? Why wouldn't you? What's going on, Joe? How's it going, man? How's it going? I agree. If they can, Joe, I agree. If they can finish out this season strong, man, totally agree with you there. I've been saying that. You look at these offenses, man. You got Gardner Minshew over there. He struggles, right? We already seen the clip, man. You get pressure on the motherfucker. He starts breaking down too. There's a reason why he's a backup. He's a flashy backup. He's a nice backup to have. There's a reason why he never won a starting job. He's good. He's good when he's good, but he's really bad when he's bad. And he's not consistent, kind of like our guy, AOC, right? He's good when he's good, but he's bad when he's bad. So you look at these two offenses, man, you stack them together. Colts got a lot more higher numbers than we do for obvious reason, but they also had their rookie phenom, Anthony Richardson, which I really wish the Raiders would have got him. You know, we say, whoa, he's injured now. Well, yeah, but shit, he could be on a different team, different circumstances, right? Better offensive line, right? We got a better offensive line than the Colts do by far. But anyways, that didn't happen. But the offense was looking good with Richardson back there, man. Michael Pittman, he's back this week. That's gonna be something to watch out for. He's a fucking dog, man. Michael Pittman is a motherfucking dog out there. I think he's got to be one of the most underrated receivers out there in this league. But you look at this, and the offense is doing great on the ground. We just got to get the passing together, man. You seen those clips of, man, he could have hit Devontae Adams for a couple of big plays, man, and threw it behind him. I'm sure you guys watch the whole game like I do. How many times do you see a receiver open, man? And if he can just find it, our guy, easy 6 points on the board. Easy. I mean, Devontae Adams did drop a couple that he should have maybe had, but he didn't put them in the spots. Couple of overthrown balls, man. So we're kind of in the same. The Colts are kind of in the same situation as us, man. They got a talented offense. Their offensive line don't beat ours in the trenches. No way. But they got Jonathan Taylor. They got Pittman. They got weapons. But they have a quarterback issue as well. He does normally catch those, Dale, but, you know, tight coverage like that, you got to put it on the money, man. You got to put it on the money. Maybe if Josh Jacobs would do a team-friendly contract, and he says he doesn't really care about the money. He says he has plenty of money, and he doesn't care about that. But I mean, when push comes to shove with the contract, we've seen what happened this year. He didn't accept the franchise tag. He wanted a couple more $1 million. Hopefully that was because there was Josh McDaniels in the building, and he wanted to stick it to fucking Josh McDaniels. Maybe that's what he was doing. I don't know. Josh Jacobs has always said he's not about the money. He wants to stay a Raider. But then when they gave him the franchise tag, He didn't take it. He didn't take it till he got $2 more million guaranteed. So who knows? Who knows what goes on behind the walls? And I'm sure a lot of fucking bullshit was going on behind the walls while McFuckhead was in charge of this place. I'm sure there was a lot of fucking tension going on coming into this year because these players after week 2 or 3 didn't even look like they wanted to fucking go out there and suit up for that motherfucker. They just didn't. They just didn't. Usually I do the DA segment. We ain't going to do that because he had 4 yards last week. He didn't do much. So we're going to roll on into the defense here. Check out. There we go. Here it is. He's not turning it over, Joe, but he's not the guy, man. He's not the guy. And let's not forget, before that 4-touchdown game, he was 4 touchdowns, 7 picks. Right? So I'm not a hater on O'Connell. I just don't think he's the guy. Yeah, he's not turning it over. That's great. But there's plenty of chances to put that game away last week, and we couldn't get it done. Couldn't get it done. So thank you, Zamir White, and that offensive line. Let's look at the Colts defense, man. Get a little bit into this bad boy here. They're a bad defense. Bad defense. Total yards, 370. That's 23rd in the league. You got 220 over the air, 14th. Good sign for Aiden O'Connell. Rushing, they're terrible on the ground. They're 28th. Great sign for our backs. They give up 24.7 points a game. That's 27th in the league. Third down percentage, 37.3. They are good on third down, but they don't get teams very often on third down. Right? But when they do stop them. And you look at the Raiders, defense has been killing it, man. 349, that's 16th, middle of the pack in the league. We only give up 210 over the air, that's 11th. 122 on the ground. That's gotten better. That's gotten a lot better. I know it shows 22nd in the league, but I'm telling you, before Antonio Pierce took over and things started getting into the swing of things, we were really, really bad on the ground, man. I think we were like 29-30. So it's came a long way. We're at 122 now. They're stopping the run a lot more. We're finally over that 20 points against mark, which that's always been a big thing for me. I've always felt if you can keep a team under 20 points a game, man, you can win a lot of ball games. It sets you up pretty fucking well to win a lot of football games. Didn't happen with the Vikings. I know. That was a bad game to watch. Fuck. That almost felt like that Super Bowl game. What was it, the Patriots or the Rams, man? None of these offenses could do shit, man. All we need is one big fucking play, man. That's all we needed. All we fucking needed in that Vikings game. Fuck. Man, we'd be sitting in a lot better spot right now. The Vikings, the Bears game, Pittsburgh game. Jeez, man. That's what sucks is when you get to this point in the season, you start looking at the games, man, and you go, fuck. How did we lose to those dudes? The Bears? And that was when the Bears were playing at their lowest fucking... That was when that Tyler Bagent guy came in and fucking and lit us up. It was like, what in the fuck is going on? I mean, that Bears game felt like a gimme, right? But we all know, as Raider fans, no game's a gimme no matter how easy the game looks on the fucking schedule, man. And even coming up in the middle of the year, you're always sitting on the edge of your seat. And it was like, what in the fuck happened? I mean, that Bears game hurt, dude. Fuck, that one hurt. Pittsburgh didn't hurt too much. I mean, it's Pittsburgh. That's a rivalry. Those games always go back and forth. But that Bears game, fuck, that was a fuck. I mean, that's 3 wins. That's 3 games right there that just didn't go our way. And that shit happens to every team. It happens to every team. I get that. But God, man. The Bears at their lowest point in the fucking season, and we couldn't fucking... McDaniels couldn't do that. He couldn't find a way to pull that out. I'm so glad that guy's gone. But this defense has been fucking amazing, man. The front four has just been I mean, I haven't seen the Raiders defense play like this and look this good since man. I don't even remember. And then I say 20 plus years, but fuck, I couldn't even. I drink a lot, so my memory's fucked. I don't even remember how good the team was back in, I think I was like 10 years old last time we went to the Super Bowl. The year before that. I don't remember those. I don't really remember watching those defenses, man. But that's been my life. Just the whole fucking time I can't even remember the last time we were good on defense. But this year, the defense is just on a different level. And it's so good to see them running out there with a bunch of energy and just giving these quarterbacks just bringing havoc to the fucking gridiron, man. I mean, the pressure, the way the corners are flying around the field. I mean, let's give a round of applause for Antonio Pierce and Patrick Graham. Big one for Antonio Pierce for letting Marcus Peters go. I was a Marcus Peters. I liked him. I did like him. Even when he was the Chiefs, I'm like, man, that dude's got some grit in him. But then when he's on your team, right? And a lot of Rams fans told me, Raven, like, oh, good riddance, man. This dude's got a shitty fucking attitude. Get him out of there. And we've seen it, man. The motherfucker, he's the one out there sucking, and he's fucking throwing a fit on the sideline like it's the team that's letting him down. It's a good thing for AP to cut that shit out and get rid of him. Now, what I will say about AP is what I didn't like in this last game against the Chiefs with this boy. I didn't like how he gets that pick six. They come off on the field, and he just couldn't enjoy the moment, right? And don't get me wrong, I love gritty football players. I like players who go out there and fucking talk shit on the fucking field and let them know I'm here. But the way he was arguing, okay, you're getting in with the Chiefs. I get it's a rivalry game. Your coach comes on the field, takes you out. Hey, calm the fuck down. Calm the fuck down. He gets him calmed down, and he's fucking pissed off. He snatches a mouthpiece on the sideline. Antonio Pierce kind of looks like a parent, like in Walmart, that's scared to fucking whoop their kid's ass in front of everybody. You know what I mean? And they just kind of like, oh, fuck, shit. Oh, whatever. Wait till we get home. I didn't like that. I think he should have sat him out. I think he should have sat Jackson out and said, "Look, dude, can't be doing this." Or Jack Jones, I'm sorry. With the whole Jones thing last week, he calmed him down for a minute, and then he started going off again. And then he snatches a mouthpiece from a fucking staff member on the sideline, and Antonio Pierce just kind of looks at him like, oh, fuck. Like, dude, you got it. Come on. I know that's your boy. You coached him when he was in high school and pop, whatever the fuck it was. When he starts having an attitude like that, fucking bench him for a couple plays. Set the tone, man. You can't cut him some slack because you've known him since high school. That's the only thing I'm going to say bad about that whole thing that happened on the field last week. But he's a good player. That motherfucker's got a lot of talent. He fucking jumps routes like nobody's fucking business. He's just got to get that attitude down, man. And I think Antonio Pierce, I think it's good that he's with Antonio because I think he respects AP. And he'll grow. I think he'll grow really good to be a very good cornerback for this football team in the future. He's just got to... You can't let a player do that. You just can't. I understand that. I understand the whole mouthpiece deal, but you told the motherfucker to calm down. He calmed down for a second. Then he started going crazy. And then you've seen Antonio Pierce engage with him again. Hey, calm down. And he still fucking walked pissed out. That's when you kind of just got to be like, hey, dude, all right, calm your shit, sit a couple plays out, and let's get back in there and go out back to business. He got another from the sideline, right? Did you see him snatch it from the staff member? Like, goddamn, he didn't throw your shit. That's just one thing that's one thing I just wasn't a fan of. Yeah, exactly. Be a pro. And he's known to have he's known to have a little bad attitude problem. And I think AP will get that shit under control, but I just don't like when shit like that goes down, man. I don't like if it's a quarterback, a wide receiver. I said it about Devontae Adams, how he was throwing his little fits and shit on the sideline too. Like, look, dude, you don't be doing that shit. Get the fuck out of here, man. I'll tell you right now, Al Davis didn't like shit like that. And if he was the owner, he'd be like, we releasing this motherfucker tomorrow. Because we're Raiders. It's not about me. That's just the way Al Davis ran the shit. Let's look at Mad Max. Hell of a job this year. We always do this segment. 50 tackles, 32 assists, 20 tackles for loss. He had one last week. He got to Mahomes. They didn't count it as a sack because Mahomes was tucking and running. So, counted as a tackle for loss. One forced fumble, 13.5 sacks on the year. He's finally getting some help from the other side and up the middle with Tyree Wilson just being a fucking dog up there. Ever since they moved Wilson inside, man, He has just been great inside. He's getting pressure. I don't know if maybe that's just where they're going to stick him now. But I'm telling you what, if he can be one of the best defensive tackles in the league, why the fuck not? Stick that, because that's always been one of the biggest problems we had on defense is getting the pressure inside. It's never been the outside. It's been the inside. Kuntz fucking tearing it up on the other side of Max. I mean, you double team Max, you got Wilson and fucking Kuntz coming in. Good luck. Because we've seen what it's looked like for these motherfucking teams the last few weeks. The front four are just dogging motherfuckers, man. I like that. If they decide, if Tyree is better playing in the middle, I mean, fuck. This defense can look good for years to come on that front four. Yeah. Yes, sir. Let's look at the injuries. We got a couple of key injury reports here. Josh Jacobs is doubtful, which pretty much means he's out. Michael Mayer has been ruled out. Zach Moss for the Colts is ruled out. Michael Pittman Jr. is questionable, but he is returning this week from what I read. It sucks with Michael Mayer, man, because he was finally getting his feet under him. He was finally out there making plays at the tight end position. Good to see. He has something going on with his toe, I believe it is. Josh Jacobs with the quad thing. I'm not sure what's really going on with that. I never doubted Josh Jacobs to be a fucking pussy. He's not. Anytime he can go out there, and we've seen it ever since he's become a Raider, motherfucker just battles through injuries. This one might just be a little bit more serious to be careful about. But that gives Amir White a little bit more to showcase his talents in the silver and black. Zach Moss, not really too much. I mean, him and Jonathan Taylor were a good little duo, so it does help us out a little bit. Michael Pittman Jr. coming back. Corners are going to be busy. They're going to be busy. But I think we got the right guys at the corner position to handle this, right? I really do believe that. Meek Robertson has been just a fucking animal. Nate Hobbs has always been one of my favorites since we drafted him. I love Nate Hobbs. I've always thought he's going to be – I don't know why I think he should be playing the number one. Maybe he's better in the slot right now because he's a little quicker for whatever reason. I love Nate Hobbs, man. I think he's going to be a very good player for us. I think he's going to be with us for a long time. So for Michael Pittman, he's a consistent motherfucker. He is a consistent motherfucker. He gets 100 yards almost every game. So we're going to have our hands full with him. We're going to have our hands full with Pittman. That's for sure. Yeah, man. Yeah, Joe. We are stacked at corner, and it's good to see this. That's what I'm saying. This defense, it's coming together, man. It's coming together. And bringing in Antonio Pierce as a head coach for this team for next year, depending on how these next two games go, I think it'd be a great thing because he's been around these guys, and he knows who to keep. He's not going to blow the motherfucker up. He's going to build from this shit because if he wins out in these next two games, he finishes 6-3. right? He's going to look at this group and he's going to go, we're keeping them good guys. We're going to keep these good guys. He knows who to keep and who to let go. That's why I feel it's better. They just keep them. Keep them. If we went out in dominant fashion and somehow get in the fucking playoffs, just keep them for a year or two. Give them a prove-it deal, right? You say, look, we'll give you 2 years, man. We'll give you 2 years to improve this team. Let's see what you can do. What do we got to lose, man? What do we got to lose? We ain't got shit to fucking lose. You know, first I was on the whole Jim Harbaugh thing. You know, okay, well, yeah, I'd consider AP, but if we can get Harbaugh, go after. But why? I'm not looking, and I don't think if Harbaugh came in here, he'd blow the motherfucker up either. But that's another big contract that would have to, right? And we can't give another fucking coach a big contract. We can't fucking do it, right? And the whole Gruden thing, whatever, that's a blast in the past, man. 10 years, $100 million, that was fucking retarded. And I know Mark Davis isn't on the hook for all that. I know that. I understand that. That was just kind of a crazy fucking contract to throw out there for a guy who hasn't coached in the league for a while. Then you go after McDaniels and whoever the fuck told you to hire this asshole and pay him that money. Now, the hiring, whatever. You wanted to hire him, that's fine. But for the money you were paying that dickhead, you got to be kidding me. You can't be stupid like that, Mark. You can't. That's why he needs to bring in a couple of smart motherfuckers and let them run the show. And he just takes the glory when it comes to Super Bowl time. When you go up there and you hoist the fucking Lombardi trophy, take the credit. But let some other motherfuckers with some good football knowledge take over in creating a front office. That you might have something already in place. You might have lucked out and walked in to something good with AP Kelly. You might have walked into something good. So don't fuck it up. But with the Raiders, always figure out a way to fuck some good shit up, man. You just don't fuck it up. Here's a prediction. Like I said, I feel in this game, man, that we're going to go in there and I feel like we're going to go in to Indy tomorrow and dominate this football game. I really do. Coming off that Kansas City win, man, that's fucking huge. And this team knowing that, hey, we still got a chance if we can win out. And a couple of these teams that we need to lose, fucking lose. And right now, they're sitting in the driver's seat this week on one of those teams. The Colts are one of the ones that got to lose another game for you to get even a better chance of making a playoff appearance. The Colts are one of those teams we got to beat. So you know they're coming in hungry. No doubt about it. We're going to come in hungry. I think they're going to come in hard. You beat the Chiefs on Christmas Day. Now you got to play Indianapolis, and you know you got to win this game. You know you got to win this game to keep your fucking season alive. And with the fucking energy that this team has been playing with, not a doubt in my mind these guys are coming out hard tomorrow. We're going to need fucking Aiden O'Connell to have one of them good games. You can't have a 63-yard game again. Zamir White's going to have to go off on that shitty-ass run defense. Right? If the offense is hot, we win this game. No doubt about it. And in the past, it's been, we just need the defense to play a good game. We need the defense to play. The defense has been playing great. We need the offense to have a good game. Doesn't got to be crazy. Doesn't got to be flashy. It's just got to be smooth sell, pick up first downs, run it down their fucking neck, and Aiden O'Connell just making nice, smart choices. That's a pregame show, fellas. I'm excited. Tomorrow morning, 10 o'clock Pacific time for me. I'll be cracking a beer around 9:30. And it's game time. We got something to look forward to, right? We got something to look forward to. In the last 2 games of the season. It's not sitting on the couch just saying, oh, man, he might be good next year for us. No. We got a chance, Raider Nation. We got a chance. We're still in it to win it, baby. We're still in it to win it. And there's a lot of teams that don't got this right now. Their fans have checked out. Their fans are checked out. They're going to be watching Red Zone. Guys like the Chargers, teams like the Chargers, they're sitting there and just going to be watching Red Zone tomorrow. They ain't got nothing to look forward to. Let's be grateful. We got something to look forward to. The stars might align correct for us. We might be playing. We might be playing 2 games in January. We're going to play 1 for sure. We might be playing 2 games in January. Hopefully more. We'll see what happens. That's the show, man. I appreciate you guys, man. Thanks for tuning in. Thanks for all the commenting, engaging. It's been fun. Hope you enjoy your Saturday night. Hope you enjoy your New Year's Eve, man. Be safe tomorrow. Don't drink and drive. We've seen what happens with people that drink and drive. Kill somebody, or your car insurance goes crazy high and inflation's high like a motherfucker. You don't need that car insurance going any high either. You know what I mean? Just be smart. Have some fun, drink some beer, smoke some weed, whatever you like to do to enjoy Raider Nation football. Hope you guys have a good New Year's, man. Let's rock into January 1st with a dub. Let's walk into January 1st with a dub. Like we like to say here at Raider Reaction, man, it's all about the peace, love, Raider Nation. Let's get that dub tomorrow.